Hello. I want to apologize first and foremost for being radio silent. I am right now walking across the street on an island in Malaysia. You can see I was very nice and waited, unlike this guy who just ran across. That's very normal to do, and I have done so as well. I think I take forever to write things down, so I just wanted to walk and talk for a little bit. I updated last time in South Africa after we did the color camp during training. Since then, we have done a lot of things. The training was about 2 months in total, and we learned some more things. We had a few different classes. One of them was Bible focused. That was probably my favorite class because it taught us how to do exegesis and how to look at what the Bible says, and really just how simple it is when you actually look for a long time at what the Bible says, and you actually realize you can see what the Bible says without going to other resources. Not that there's anything wrong with that. You actually want to do that sort of work to make sure you're on the right track. And that was called Veritas, not to be confused with Scott's high school, Scott and Slater's high school in Garrett. And yeah, we then had another class about living to love with Jesus. Very good class. The name is quite good, but the teaching actually rocked quite a few people's worlds. Sorry, it's very loud next to this little thing. I am walking through a Indian store right now. This place is phenomenal. The butter chicken and the naan bread is life-changing in itself. So then we actually went to Maketini, an area in South Africa, which this area is in KwaZulu-Natal, and you are pretty much surrounded by Zulu culture there. And we stayed with the church there and met this very vibrant pastor, Pastor Lucky Kunene. This guy while we were there, he got his master's degree in some sort of biblical studies, and that guy makes fun of you a lot, which I think was good. It was very funny, and we did a lot of work for him. We fixed up a roof that was leaking. We took out some old insulation because it was making the church look ugly, and we did some walks around there. This place was very peaceful. I thought Zulus had a culture of malice, but I saw that for the most part they really don't at all. I mean, not malice, but kind of they used to, way a long time ago, their culture was war, right? Like the Spartans, but it's so peaceful now. It's a beautiful place, lots of hills, lots of greenery thanks to the rain. And yeah, from there we went to Eswatini, and we had a little bit of a surprise there, Luke 10 challenge, which basically, if you read Luke 10, it's where Jesus sent out some of his disciples 2 by 2, told them to prepare the way. And for us, what it meant was we're practicing one of the ways in which Jesus sends people out to minister. And one of the challenges is you can't take anything with you unless the Lord tells you to. He told us to take, only 2 people could take sandals. I was one of them, luckily, because my feet are messed up. But the other 2 volunteered. They didn't want to go with any sandals. They went barefoot, and a pen and a Bible. And we went out in a city in Eswatini and just prayed, Lord, which way do we go? Which way do we go? And while we were praying, we got a picture of a blue house with a white fence, and that the people there are struggling because of a child, and that they would be prepared for us. And we ended up at a house, and we just waited. A lady with a Porsche came by, but when we were praying, we felt like the Lord said, right place, wrong time. And so we had to go on walking, but we got the lady's number. She was very kind about it, but her husband said no. Then at almost sunset, we were getting worried. We're at taxi rank, and yeah, we started really praying, and I thought I was doing something wrong, and I tried to confess to my team, but they told me I'm not prideful, and but it was like I had all this pressure and I had to just let go of the pressure. Whoops. 5 minutes later, a guy pulls up and he says, "Where are you going?" And we told him the next town, and he tells us, "Okay, get in," and he introduces himself. He says, "My name is Unkulego." It means prayer. So prayer got to know us, and we told him what we're doing, and that we need a place to stay, and he calls his wife, and we end up staying there. Turns out, we found this out after we ate with them and just hung out in the little house in their homestead. They gave us a room to stay in, lots of blankets. Turns out this lady had prepared for us, and she didn't know it. She just cleaned her house and felt like the Lord was telling her to clean the house and pray things away. She felt like maybe there was a curse on her, and the next morning she comes and tells us that she had a dream, and this was about how people at her church were not being very kind to her. She was kind of falling into sadness, and that she was struggling to have a child. And she was reading about Elijah, who had come to a woman, and after he left, that woman was able to have a child again, and she felt very strong. So she said, "When you guys leave, I'm going to be able to be pregnant again." So I'll update you when we find out the news. But we prayed for her, and she dropped us off at a market with some money so that we could buy food. And then we kept going, and we prayed, where should we go today? And we felt like we should go back to the town where we came from. As we were praying, we get a message from the lady you don't know that yet, the Porsche lady with the Porsche, telling us that, asking us if we still need a place to stay because her husband changed his mind. So we ended up going there that night, and yes, it was a blue house with a white fence, and so it was really incredible how the Lord provided for us. Surprise, surprise. But that really encouraged us and helped us in our faith to go forwards this year. So that was the Luke 10 challenge in Eswatini. After that, we went to South Africa for two more weeks for training, finish up Veritas, the Bible training, and then we had a weekend off and flew to Malaysia, and I will update you guys more on that later.